The Lost Diamond. Intro. It was a dark and stormy night, and Detective Jane was sitting in her office with her feet up on her desk. She had just closed a tough case and was looking forward to a quiet evening. But fate had other plans for her. She received a call from the museum security guard, informing her that the famous diamond exhibit had been stolen. Without a moment's hesitation, Jane grabbed her coat and headed to the scene. Act 1. The crime scene. When Jane arrived at the museum, she found chaos. Police officers were everywhere, and the museum staff was in a state of panic. The diamond exhibit had been carefully guarded, but somehow the thief had managed to slip in undetected. Jane surveyed the crime scene, looking for any clues. She noticed a broken window, and it was clear that the thief had entered through there. But how did they manage to avoid the security cameras? Act 2. The investigation. Jane began her investigation by interviewing the museum staff and security guard. They all claimed to have seen or heard nothing out of the ordinary. But as Jane dug deeper, she found something strange. One of the museum staff, a man named Mark, had called in sick that day, and no one had been able to reach him since. Jane became suspicious and decided to investigate further. Act 3. The chase. Jane traced Mark's phone and found out that he was staying in a motel on the outskirts of town. She rushed there and found Mark in his room. Mark was startled to see Jane and tried to run, but Jane was faster. She chased him through the streets, and the chase ended in an abandoned warehouse. There, she found the diamond, but Mark was nowhere to be found. Act 4. The revelation. As Jane examined the diamond, she noticed something strange. It was a fake. The real diamond had already been smuggled out of the country. Jane realized that Mark had been a decoy all along, meant to distract her from the real thief. But who was the real thief, and where was he? Act 5. The showdown. Jane's investigation led her to a wealthy businessman named John, who had a history of diamond smuggling. Jane confronted John in his office, and he denied everything. But Jane knew that he was lying. She pulled out her gun and aimed it at John, and he knew that he had been caught. In a fit of rage, he lunged at Jane, and a struggle ensued. But Jane was able to overpower John and arrest him for the theft. Conclusion. As Jane left the police station, she felt a sense of relief. The diamond had been recovered, and the thief had been caught. She realized that the job of a detective was never easy, but it was always rewarding. She drove off into the night, ready for whatever the next case would bring.